In economics, a market refers to all the various providers and buyers of a particular good or service. Because there are many different forms of goods and services sold, there are also different structures for those various markets. This is the second in a series of resources that explore the four market structures. We focus on perfect competition. We provide the combination of factors about the products that suggest a perfectly competitive market. We will focus on the concept of zero economic profit. We finish with some examples of perfectly competitive markets. The first feature of a perfect competition is that there are many buyers and many sellers. The buyers have many choices where to spend their money, and there are enough buyers for all the sellers to peddle their wares. The next feature of a perfectly competitive market is that it is homogeneous. The individual products are indistinguishable from each other. Furthermore, firms do not attempt to distinguish their product from that of the competition. Another feature of a perfect competition is an utter lack of barriers to entry. Any potential firm can enter the market and have a reasonable chance of success. The cost of production is relatively low. No firms control key resources, and there are no patents or licenses required to produce. Because there are so many sellers of a homogeneous product, each firm is therefore a price taker. This means that no firm can set their price above the going market price. If they try to charge more than market price, then the consumers will simply go to the next seller to make their purchase. In the long term, firms involved in a perfectly competitive market earn no economic profit. They cover their expenses, but because the firms are price takers, they cannot overcharge for the profits either. Recall that opportunity costs also factor into economic profit. Let's see exactly why perfectly competitive products result in zero economic profit. Suppose at some point firms are making economic profit. Other firms, perhaps in other industries, will recognize the potential for profit. Because there are no barriers to entry, those other firms will shift their production. This will increase the supply of the product, which in turn forces the selling price to drop. After some manipulation and adjusting, a balance will be struck where there is no longer any economic profit to be earned. This is a case where the textbook definition is slightly different from reality. In reality, a firm does have slight control over their price. So long as they do not charge grossly different from the market price, they will maintain a steady customer base. It is also unrealistic to assume there are no barriers to entry. There will always be some startup cost and other factors. However, this definition for perfect competition is the ideal. The reality is that there is a continuum. An industry labeled as perfect competition trend more towards this definition than other market structures. So what are some industries that have approximately perfect competition? Recall that we want many producers and many buyers of homogeneous products. Think about a corn farmer or a t-shirt shop in a tourist area. On any given block, there are at least 3 shops that sell the same cheap, low-quality t-shirts. These shirts cost approximately the same amount. This is a perfect example of a perfect competition. Similarly, we could consider a fish and chips shop on the coast. With the exact same analysis, We recognize that this forms another perfect competition. But what about the other market structures? Stay tuned for the other resources in this series.